The Barefoot Girl. The morning sun bathed Oakwood Elementary in a warm golden glow as children rushed through the doors, laughter and chatter echoing in the hallway. Among them was Amara, a quiet girl of 8 with deep brown eyes that held a world of stories. Her tightly braided hair bounced gently with each step, but her bare feet were a stark contrast against the polished wooden floors of the school. Every day, Amara arrived without shoes, but she never complained about it. While her classmates flaunted colorful sneakers or shiny new sandals, she walked silently, as if her lack of footwear was a secret that only she understood. Her thin frame and tattered sweater suggested a life filled with challenges, yet her spirit remained unbroken. She entered her classroom and settled into her desk in the corner, always careful to blend into the background, her eyes focused intently on the teacher. Miss Taylor, a passionate and empathetic educator, was the newest member of the teaching staff at Oakwood Elementary. At 26, she brought fresh energy and enthusiasm to her role. Each morning, she greeted her students with warmth and kindness, eager to foster a supportive learning environment. As the children filed in, Miss Taylor's attention was immediately drawn to Amara. "Good morning, Amara," she greeted cheerfully, a bright smile lighting up her face. "Good morning, Miss Taylor," Amara replied softly, her gaze fixed on the desk, avoiding eye contact. Miss Taylor noticed Amara's bare feet and felt a pang of concern in her heart. She had seen the girl come to school in ill-fitting shoes before, but today was different. The absence of shoes made Amara look vulnerable, as if a layer of protection had been stripped away. As the other children excitedly chattered and pulled out their pencils and notebooks, Amara sat silently, her small toes curling against the cool linoleum floor. "All right, class, let's begin with our morning math warm-up," Miss Taylor called, pushing her worries aside. As she reviewed the lesson plan, she couldn't help but steal glances at Amara. Despite the evident discomfort, the girl's pencil danced across the paper with remarkable speed and precision. When it was time to share answers, Amara's hand shot up, her voice soft yet confident as she explained her reasoning. "The answer is 15 because if you add 8 and 7, you get 15, she stated, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Excellent work, Amara," Miss Taylor praised, her heart swelling with pride as a fleeting smile appeared on the girl's face. In that moment, Miss Taylor recognized a bright mind that was undeterred by her circumstances, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was at play. As the morning progressed, Miss Taylor couldn't help but notice how Amara seemed to retreat further into herself. During the mid-morning break, as the other children rushed to the playground, Amara lingered behind, her eyes darting longingly toward the door. "Amara," Miss Taylor called gently, her heart aching for the girl. "Would you like to go outside and play?" "No thank you, Miss Taylor. I'd rather stay inside and read," Amara replied, her fingers fidgeting with the hem of her worn sweater. Miss Taylor nodded, concern gnawing at her. She had noticed Amara with the same tattered sneakers for months, and now without any shoes at all. It felt like a tipping point. The girl's resilience was both admirable and heartbreaking. She never asked for help, yet it was clear that something was amiss. Throughout the day, Miss Taylor found herself constantly drawn to Amara. The girl's intelligence shone through in every lesson, her homework always neatly completed despite the evident challenges she faced at home. During a writing exercise, Amara crafted a beautiful story about a bird learning to fly, her words painting a vivid picture of determination and hope. When lunchtime arrived, Miss Taylor watched Amara pull out a small crumpled paper bag. Inside was a single, slightly bruised apple. The girl ate slowly, savoring each bite, while her classmates dug into sandwiches and snack packs, oblivious to the disparity that existed within their midst. Unable to contain her concern any longer, Miss Taylor approached Amara's desk. "Amara, sweetie, can we talk for a moment?" The girl looked up, her eyes wide with apprehension. "Yes, Miss Taylor," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Miss Taylor crouched down, bringing herself to Amara's eye level. I couldn't help but notice you don't have any shoes today. Is everything okay at home? Amara's gaze dropped to her lap, and a moment of silence lingered between them. Everything's fine, Miss Taylor, she mumbled. I didn't want to trouble anyone. Amara, you're not troubling anyone by needing help, Miss Taylor said softly. If there's something wrong, you can tell me. I'm here to help. For a fleeting moment, it seemed like Amara might open up. Her lower lip trembled, and she glanced up at Miss Taylor with eyes full of unspoken words. But then, as quickly as it appeared, the vulnerability vanished. Amara straightened her shoulders and forced a small smile. Really, Miss Taylor, it's okay. I just forgot my shoes today. It won't happen again. Miss Taylor knew it was a lie, but she also recognized the pride in Amara's voice. This wasn't a child looking for handouts or pity. This was a girl determined to face her challenges head-on, no matter how daunting. As Amara returned to her lunch, Miss Taylor stood up, her mind whirling. She had seen signs of struggle before. The too small clothes, the lack of school supplies. But this felt different. Something was seriously wrong in Amara's home life, and Miss Taylor was determined to find out what. Throughout the afternoon, Miss Taylor watched Amara more closely. She noticed how the girl winced when her bare feet touched the cold floor of the art room, how she hesitated before joining the line for physical education. Yet, through it all, Amara remained focused, polite, and hardworking. During the last period of the day, as the class worked on a group project, Miss Taylor overheard a conversation that made her heart clench. "Hey, Amara," whispered Lizzie, a well-meaning but sometimes tactless classmate. "Where are your shoes?" Amara stiffened, her pencil freezing mid-sentence. I forgot them," she said quietly. "How do you forget shoes?" Lizzie pressed, her brow furrowed in genuine confusion. Before Amara could respond, Tommy chimed in. "Maybe her family can't afford shoes. My dad says some people in town are really poor." The tips of Amara's ears turned red, and she hunched further over her work, trying to disappear. Miss Taylor felt a surge of protectiveness rise within her. Just as she was about to intervene, Amara's soft, steady voice broke through the tension. "My mom works really hard," Amara said, not looking up from her paper. "And I have shoes. I just didn't wear them today." The other children, sensing the shift in the atmosphere, quickly changed the subject, and Miss Taylor could feel Amara's discomfort linger in the air. As the bell rang to signal the end of the day, Miss Taylor's heart was heavy with concern. She watched Amara gather her things and slip out of the classroom, her bare feet padding softly against the floor. Determined to learn more about Amara's situation, Miss Taylor made a plan. She would visit Amara's home that evening to understand the challenges her student faced. It was time to uncover the truth behind the quiet girl with the bright mind and the bare feet. A teacher's visit. As Miss Taylor sat in Amara's cozy room, the walls adorned with colorful drawings and art projects, she felt a profound responsibility weighing on her. The world outside seemed distant, but within this small space, there was a pressing need for understanding and compassion. She glanced around, noticing the way Amara had tried to make the room a sanctuary, even amidst their struggles. Each artwork told a story, some vibrant, some dark, but all were reflections of Amara's imagination and resilience. "Amara, I know it's hard to talk about these things," Miss Taylor began, her voice soothing and steady. "But sharing your feelings can help lighten the load. You're not alone in this." Amara shifted on her bed, her fingers nervously twisting the hem of her shirt. "I just feel like I should be stronger. I see my mom working so hard, and I don't want to be a burden." Miss Taylor's heart ached at the weight of Amara's words. Being strong doesn't mean you have to shoulder everything by yourself. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is ask for help. You deserve to be cared for, just like everyone else. Amara looked up, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "I want to be strong for my mom. She's been through so much. I can see how much you care about her. And that's a beautiful quality," Miss Taylor replied. But you also need to take care of yourself. Your feelings matter too." Just then, Sarah peeked into the room, her face a mix of concern and relief. "How's it going in here?" she asked, entering with a gentle smile. "Mom, Miss Taylor is helping me understand that it's okay to ask for help," Amara said, her voice steadier now, the vulnerability giving way to a budding strength. "That's wonderful to hear," Sarah said, her expression softening. "It's hard to admit when we need assistance, isn't it?" Amara nodded, her eyes downcast. "I didn't want to make things harder for you." "Amara, you could never make things harder for me by being honest about your feelings," Sarah assured her, kneeling beside the bed. "I want you to feel safe to share anything with me." Miss Taylor watched the exchange with admiration. It was evident that the bond between mother and daughter was strong, despite the challenges they faced. Yet she knew that this was only the beginning of a long journey toward healing. "Can I help you two come up with a plan?" Miss Taylor suggested. "There are resources in our community that can assist with shoes, school supplies, and even support for your mom's job situation. We can work together to explore those options." "I would like that," Amara said quietly, a flicker of hope igniting in her heart. "But I don't want to take anything away from someone who needs it more." "That's very thoughtful of you, Amara," Miss Taylor replied, her heart swelling with pride. "But remember, the community resources are there for everyone, and you deserve to benefit from them too. Seeking help doesn't diminish anyone else's needs." As they discussed potential resources, Sarah felt a wave of relief wash over her. "I didn't know where to turn," she admitted. "I thought I could manage everything, but I realize now that I can't do it alone." "None of us can," Miss Taylor said, her voice warm and reassuring. "It takes a village, and I'm here to help both of you." The conversation continued, and ideas flowed freely. They talked about local charities, community centers, and the possibility of reaching out to the school district for assistance. Miss Taylor emphasized the importance of connecting with others who could lend a hand, and slowly, Amara began to feel a sense of agency, a realization that she could advocate for herself and her family. Over the next few days, Miss Taylor stayed in touch with Amara and Sarah, guiding them through the process of seeking assistance. Together, they applied for support from various organizations, and the responses began to pour in. One afternoon, as Amara returned from school, she found a box waiting for her at the doorstep. The sight of it filled her with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. She looked at her mother, who stood beside her, a hopeful smile lighting up her face. "Let's see what's inside," Sarah encouraged, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Amara carefully opened the box, her heart racing. Inside, she found not only a brand new pair of shoes, but also a backpack filled with school supplies, notebooks, pens, and art supplies that she had only dreamt of having. It felt like Christmas had come early. "Look, Mom, they sent me everything," Amara exclaimed, her voice barely containing her joy. Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she hugged her daughter tightly. "I'm so proud of you, Amara. You did this together. You were brave enough to ask for help." "I couldn't have done it without Miss Taylor," Amara replied, her heart swelling with gratitude for her teacher's unwavering support. The following day at school, Amara wore her new shoes proudly. They were bright pink with sparkly laces, and as she walked through the halls, she felt a renewed sense of confidence. Her classmates noticed the change, and she caught several of them staring at her feet with admiration. "Nice shoes, Amara," called out Lizzie, her classmate, as they stood in line for lunch. "Thanks," Amara responded, a broad smile spreading across her face. She felt a warmth in her chest that she hadn't felt in a long time. Perhaps this was a turning point. She could finally embrace her identity and the person she wanted to be. During lunchtime, Miss Taylor approached Amara at her table. "I'm so happy to see you in those shoes," she exclaimed, beaming at her student. "You look fantastic." Amara felt a rush of happiness as she looked up at Miss Taylor. "Thank you. I feel really good today," she replied, her confidence shining through. "That's what I love to hear," How about we catch up later? I'd love to hear about your day, Miss Taylor suggested. As the days turned into weeks, Amara continued to excel academically, her resilience shining through in every lesson. She was no longer a silent observer in the classroom. She actively participated, sharing her ideas and creative insights. Her artwork flourished, and Miss Taylor encouraged her to enter the upcoming school art competition. "Your drawings are stunning, Amara. I believe you can win," Miss Taylor said, her enthusiasm infectious. Amara's eyes lit up with excitement. "Really? You think I can?" "I absolutely do. Your unique perspective is what makes your work so special. Let's work together to prepare your entry," Miss Taylor said, her voice filled with encouragement. Over the next few weeks, they spent afternoons working side by side in the classroom, brainstorming ideas and sketching out Amara's vision. The bond between them grew stronger, and Amara felt a sense of empowerment she had never known before. Meanwhile, Sarah had also found a part-time job, allowing her to contribute more to their household. The additional income brought a glimmer of hope, and as she and Amara worked together on household chores, they began to share laughter and stories, their relationship blossoming. Amara no longer felt the heavy weight of shame for needing assistance. Instead, she embraced the love and support surrounding her. The community's kindness had ignited a spark of determination within her, reminding her that it was okay to reach out and seek help when needed. As the day of the art competition approached, Amara felt a mixture of excitement and nerves. She had poured her heart and soul into her artwork, capturing the essence of her journey in vibrant colors and intricate designs. With Miss Taylor's encouragement, she knew that no matter the outcome, this was a moment of triumph in itself. On the day of the competition, the gymnasium was buzzing with energy, filled with families, students, and teachers. Amara stood next to her artwork, her heart pounding with anticipation. The judges walked around, examining each piece, and Amara felt a wave of pride wash over her. She had done this. She had faced her fears and embraced her creativity. When the time came for the winners to be announced, Amara felt her stomach twist with nerves. And the winner for the best overall art piece goes to. The principal's voice echoed in the gymnasium, and Amara held her breath. Amara Johnson. The room erupted in applause, and Amara's heart soared as she stood frozen in disbelief. Miss Taylor rushed to her side, her face beaming with pride. "You did it. I knew you could." Overwhelmed with joy, Amara stepped up to accept her award, her hands shaking as she held the shiny trophy. She looked out into the audience, and her gaze landed on her mother, who was clapping with tears streaming down her cheeks. In that moment, Amara knew that she was not just winning for herself. She was winning for her family, for their struggles, and for their resilience. As she spoke into the microphone, her voice steady and clear, she shared her journey, how she had learned the importance of seeking help and embracing her creativity. "I want to thank Miss Taylor for believing in me and showing me that it's okay to ask for support," she said, her heart swelling with gratitude. After the ceremony, Amara and Sarah shared a heartfelt embrace, their bond stronger than ever. "You are my inspiration, Amara," Sarah said, pride radiating from her. "You've shown me what it means to be brave." The ripple effect. As the weeks passed following the art competition, a noticeable shift took place not only in Amara, but in the entire school community. Her triumph became a beacon of hope for others, inspiring her classmates and teachers to reevaluate their perceptions of strength, vulnerability, and the importance of community support. Back in the classroom, Miss Taylor noticed how Amara's confidence blossomed after her win. No longer just a quiet observer, she became a source of encouragement for her peers. During a group project on environmental awareness, Amara took the lead, motivating her classmates to contribute ideas. "Let's create a mural that showcases our commitment to protecting the environment," Amara proposed, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "We can paint different aspects of nature and how we can help preserve it." "Great idea, Amara." Lizzie chimed in, her voice filled with excitement. I can paint the ocean. It's my favorite. I'll do the trees," Tommy added, already sketching ideas in his notebook. Miss Taylor beamed with pride as she observed the children working together harmoniously, each contributing their unique skills. The mural became a collective effort, a tapestry of creativity that reflected not only their individual talents but their newfound sense of unity. As the project progressed, Amara's role as a leader solidified. She organized brainstorming sessions, delegated tasks, and encouraged quieter students to share their ideas. Her heart swelled with pride each time a classmate expressed gratitude for her guidance. For the first time, she felt like a vital part of something larger than herself. Meanwhile, at home, the positive changes were palpable. Sarah had secured a part-time job at a local bakery, allowing her to contribute more to their household. The extra income eased some of their financial burdens, and together, they began planning small family outings to strengthen their bond. They visited the local park, went on nature walks, and even attended community events where they could interact with neighbors and share their experiences. One evening, while sitting on their small porch, Amara asked her mother, "Do you think our lives will always be like this?" Sarah paused, looking thoughtfully at the setting sun. "Life is full of ups and downs, sweetheart. It's not always easy, but what matters is how we respond to those challenges. We have each other, and that makes us stronger." "Do you think things will get better?" Amara inquired, her voice laced with uncertainty. "I know they will," Sarah reassured her, reaching out to hold Amara's hand. "With hard work, love, and support, we can create a brighter future. Just look at how far you've come. You've inspired me to be more open and ask for help when I need it." That night, Amara lay in bed, reflecting on her journey. The triumphs of the past weeks flooded her mind. Her new shoes, the mural project, and her art competition win. But alongside these joys, she also felt a deep sense of empathy for those who were still struggling, including her classmates who faced their own challenges. The next day at school, Amara felt a calling to take action. During lunch, she gathered her friends, her heart pounding with excitement. "What if we start a club to help other kids who might need support?" she proposed, her voice steady and confident. "What kind of help?" Lizzie asked, her brow furrowing in curiosity. "Like a buddy system," Amara explained. "We can pair up with classmates who might be feeling lonely or struggling in school. We could help with homework, play games during recess, or even just be there to listen." "That sounds amazing," Tanya exclaimed. "I love the idea of being a buddy." Amara felt a surge of joy at her friend's enthusiasm. They began brainstorming names for the club and discussing how they could spread the word. By the end of lunch, they decided to call it the Friendship Squad, a name that embodied their mission to promote kindness, understanding, and support within their school. With Miss Taylor's encouragement, they organized their first meeting in the classroom the following week. As they gathered together, excitement filled the air. "This is our chance to make a difference," Amara announced, her eyes shining with determination. "Let's make posters to invite others to join," suggested Lizzie, already sketching ideas for colorful designs. As the meeting progressed, the group discussed various activities they could implement, from game days to study sessions. Amara encouraged everyone to share their ideas, creating an inclusive atmosphere where every voice was valued. On the day of the first official meeting of the Friendship Squad, students from all grades gathered in Miss Taylor's classroom. Buzzing with anticipation, Miss Taylor opened the meeting, introducing Amara and her friends as the leaders of the initiative. "Today marks the beginning of a beautiful journey," Miss Taylor began, her voice warm and encouraging. "This club is about creating connections, fostering friendships, and ensuring that no one feels alone. Amara, would you like to share your story?" Taking a deep breath, Amara stepped forward. "Hi everyone. My name is Amara, and I'm so excited to start this club with all of you. A few weeks ago, I felt really alone. I didn't have shoes, and I thought that made me different from everyone else. But with the help of Miss Taylor and my mom, I realized that asking for help is okay, and we can all support each other. That's why I want to create a space where everyone feels included." The room erupted in applause, and Amara felt a swell of pride. "Together, we can make sure that everyone knows they belong here," she continued. "Let's be there for each other, no matter what." As the friendship squad gained momentum, students began reaching out, sharing their struggles, and offering support. They organized tutoring sessions for classmates who needed help with their studies and created a buddy system for those who felt isolated during recess. Amara was surprised by how many students responded positively, sharing their experiences and expressing gratitude for the initiative. One day, during a tutoring session, Amara noticed a quiet girl named Leela sitting alone in the corner, her head down and shoulders slumped. Remembering her own struggles, Amara approached her gently. "Hey, Leela, would you like to join us? We're practicing math, and I'd love to help you." Leela looked up, surprised. "Really? I'm not good at math." "That's okay. We're here to learn together," Amara replied, her voice encouraging. "I used to struggle too, but it gets easier when you practice with friends." With a hesitant smile, Leela joined Amara and her friends, and as they worked together, laughter filled the air. The more they practiced, the more Leela began to smile, her confidence slowly building. In the following weeks, Amara observed a beautiful transformation within her school. Students who had previously felt marginalized began to find their voices. They participated in discussions, shared their talents, and supported one another. The friendship squad became a sanctuary of acceptance and compassion. The ripple effect of kindness extended beyond the classroom walls. Parents and teachers began noticing the positive change, and the sense of community within Oakwood Elementary blossomed. Sarah often volunteered at the school, helping to organize events and offering her baking skills for fundraisers. One day, Miss Taylor approached Amara after school, her eyes filled with admiration. "You have truly created something remarkable, Amara. Your leadership and compassion have inspired not only your classmates but the entire school community. I couldn't be prouder." "Thank you, Miss Taylor," Amara replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without your support. You showed me how important it is to reach out and help others." With a newfound sense of purpose, Amara continued to lead the friendship squad, fostering a culture of kindness, empathy, and inclusion. She understood that her journey was just beginning, and the impact of her actions could resonate far beyond the walls of Oakwood Elementary. As the school year progressed, Amara and her friends initiated new projects, such as a book drive for children in need and a community cleanup day. They collaborated with local organizations to provide resources for families facing hardships, further solidifying their commitment to uplifting others. One afternoon, as they planned their next initiative, Amara looked around the room at her friends. "I think it's time we take our efforts beyond the school," she suggested. "Let's organize a community event where we can invite families, share our stories, and bring everyone together." "Great idea," Tommy exclaimed. "We could have activities for kids, a potluck, and even a talent show." As they worked tirelessly to bring their vision to life, Amara felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She understood that their actions were creating a legacy of kindness that would continue to inspire others for years to come. On the day of the community event, the park was filled with laughter and joy. Families gathered to celebrate and connect, sharing delicious food and stories. Amara's heart swelled with happiness as she watched her friends interact with others, spreading the message of compassion and togetherness. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the gathering, Amara took the stage to thank everyone for their support. "Thank you for being here today," she began, her voice steady and confident. This event wouldn't have been possible without the incredible teamwork of the friendship squad and the love from our community. Together, we can make a difference in each other's lives, and I hope we continue to uplift one another. The crowd erupted in applause, and Amara felt tears of joy prick at her eyes. The connections she had fostered were not just about helping others. They were about building a community where everyone felt valued and heard. As she stepped off, facing adversity together. As the months rolled on, the sense of unity within the Oakwood Elementary community continued to flourish. The Friendship Squad had become an integral part of the school, and Amara's vision for kindness and inclusivity spread like wildfire. However, just as things seemed to be falling into place, a sudden storm would test the resilience of the very community they had built. It all began one crisp autumn morning when Miss Taylor arrived at school to find a letter pinned to her classroom door. The note, hastily scrawled in a shaky hand, detailed how the local bakery where Sarah worked was facing financial difficulties and would likely have to close its doors unless they received significant support. The news hit Miss Taylor hard. She knew how much Sarah had invested in both her job and her family. Once the school day began, Miss Taylor gathered the class to share the news. "I want to talk to you all about something important," she began, her voice steady but laced with concern. "We've all been part of something beautiful with the Friendship Squad, and now we have the opportunity to help our community." Amara's heart raced as she listened. She felt a wave of determination wash over her. "What can we do, Miss Taylor?" she asked, her voice unwavering. "We can't let the bakery close. It's important to so many families, including mine." "That's right, Amara," Miss Taylor agreed, her gaze softening. "We could organize a fundraiser. If we can rally the community to support the bakery, we might help keep it open." The idea ignited a fire within Amara, and she quickly rallied her friends. During recess, she gathered Tommy, Lizzie, and a few other members of the Friendship Squad under a large oak tree, their minds buzzing with possibilities. "What if we set up a bake sale?" Tommy suggested excitedly. "We can make treats and sell them to raise money for the bakery." "I love it," Lizzie chimed in. "And we can invite everyone in the community to come and donate if they want." With a plan in place, the Friendship Squad jumped into action. They organized their first community meeting, inviting parents, teachers, and students to brainstorm ideas. The gymnasium was filled with a buzz of chatter as they gathered. Parents volunteered to bake, teachers helped spread the word, and students designed colorful flyers to promote the event. As the bake sale day approached, Amara felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She could see the hard work paying off as her friends baked cookies, cakes, and brownies in the school kitchen, their laughter echoing through the halls. Yet she couldn't shake the feeling that this would be a challenging test of their newfound unity. On the day of the bake sale, the school gym was transformed into a vibrant marketplace. Colorful banners hung from the ceiling, and tables overflowed with delicious treats. The aroma of freshly baked goods wafted through the air, mingling with the laughter and chatter of families arriving. Amara, dressed in a bright yellow apron, stood proudly at the front of the gym, ready to welcome everyone. "Thank you all for coming," she exclaimed as the first families trickled in. "Today, we're here to support our local bakery and help keep our community strong." The bake sale quickly became a success. Children ran from table to table, tasting the treats, while parents engaged in conversations about the importance of supporting local businesses. Amara felt a sense of pride swell in her chest as she watched her classmates work tirelessly, serving customers and spreading smiles. Just as the event reached its peak, a sudden commotion at the entrance drew Amara's attention. A group of students from another school, led by a boy named Derek, burst through the doors, shouting and laughing. Amara recognized Derek from a local soccer team. While he was known for his talent on the field, he also had a reputation for being a bully. "What's going on here?" "A bunch of kids selling cookies," Derek sneered, looking around with a mocking grin. His friend snickered, and the atmosphere shifted slightly as Amara's heart sank. "Hey, leave them alone," Lizzie piped up, stepping protectively in front of Amara. "We're raising money to help a local bakery, and it's none of your business." Derek shrugged, his eyes narrowing. "Sounds lame. Who cares about some old bakery? What's the point?" Amara felt a surge of determination rise within her. This was not the time to back down. It's important to our community, Derek, she said, her voice steady. Many families rely on that bakery for work and food. If you don't want to help, that's your choice, but we're doing something good here. Derek hesitated, caught off guard by her boldness. His friends exchanged glances, unsure of how to react. Whatever, he finally said, attempting to dismiss the situation. I just think it's dumb. As Derek and his friends wandered away, Amara felt a sense of relief wash over her, but the moment had left a mark on her. She turned to Lizzie and Tommy, grateful for their support. Thank you for standing up for me, she said, her voice filled with sincerity. Of course, Lizzie replied, her brow furrowed with concern. But we can't let people like him bring us down. We have a mission to complete. As the bake sale continued, Amara's heart swelled with gratitude for her friends and the community that had come together to support the cause. The event raised more money than they had anticipated, but more importantly, it brought people together, fostering a sense of hope and resilience. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Amara and her friends gathered in the school auditorium to celebrate their success. Miss Taylor stood at the front of the room, her eyes shining with pride. I can't express how proud I am of all of you, she began, her voice full of emotion. You've shown remarkable leadership and compassion in supporting our community, and I know Sarah and the bakery appreciate everything you've done. Amara felt a warmth in her chest at the mention of her mother's name. She turned to Tommy and Lizzie, her eyes glistening with happiness. We did it together. The group celebrated late into the evening, sharing stories and laughter, reinforcing the bonds they had formed. But as Amara returned home, a lingering sense of anxiety settled over her. Despite the success of the bake sale, she couldn't shake the feeling that their efforts were just the beginning. The next day, when Amara arrived at school, she could sense that something was different. Whispers filled the hallways, and a cloud of unease hung in the air. As she entered Miss Taylor's classroom, she found her teacher standing at the front, visibly distressed. Class, I have some unfortunate news, Miss Taylor announced, her voice trembling slightly. The bakery will still be closing its doors. Despite our best efforts, it wasn't enough to save it. Amara's heart sank. The excitement and joy from the previous day faded away, replaced by a heavy weight of disappointment. But we did everything we could, she exclaimed, her voice breaking. We raised so much money. I know, Amara, Miss Taylor replied gently. And you all did an incredible job. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, circumstances are beyond our control. Amara's mind raced with thoughts. What if we organized more events? What if we reached out to the community for more support? She suggested, desperation creeping into her voice. We can keep trying, Miss Taylor encouraged, her eyes filled with understanding. But we also need to acknowledge our limits. Sometimes we have to pivot and find new ways to support those in need. Amara took a deep breath, trying to absorb Miss Taylor's words. The bakery may have closed, but that didn't mean their efforts had been in vain. We can't give up, she declared, her resolve hardening. We'll find another way to help our community. The class rallied around Amara's determination, brainstorming ideas on how they could support local businesses and families in need. They began reaching out to other organizations, community leaders, and even the town council, determined to make a difference in whatever way they could. As weeks passed, the Friendship Squad grew stronger and more united in their mission. They organized donation drives for families facing hardships, partnered with local charities to provide school supplies, and continued to foster connections within their community. While the loss of the bakery weighed heavily on their hearts, it fueled their determination to help others in any way possible. Amara understood that even in the face of adversity, the spirit of community could shine brightly. One afternoon, as they sorted donations for families in need, Amara found herself reflecting on the journey they had taken together. You know, she began, looking at her friends, we might not have saved the bakery, but we're still making a difference. Absolutely. Tommy agreed, a smile lighting up his face. Every little act of kindness counts. And we're building something even bigger, Lizzie added. We're creating a culture of support and love. As the school year continued, Amara and the Friendship Squad's efforts were recognized by the town. They were invited to present their work at a community meeting, where they shared their experiences and highlighted the importance of empathy and collaboration. Every single one of us has the power to create change, Amara told the crowd, her heart pounding with passion. We may not always succeed in saving everything, but we can lift each other up, support one another, and create a community that thrives on kindness. The applause that followed resonated deeply within her, validating the countless hours, the strength of community. As the weeks turned into months, Amara and her friends continued their efforts to support families in need. The Friendship Squad had transformed from a simple group of schoolchildren into a force for good within their community. They organized various initiatives, from clothing drives to food collection events, all aimed at uplifting those who were struggling. One day, while brainstorming ideas for their next project in Miss Taylor's classroom, Lizzie spoke up. What if we set up a mentorship program? We could pair older students with younger ones who might need extra help with schoolwork or just someone to talk to. Amara's eyes lit up at the suggestion. That's a fantastic idea. We could make it a big event and invite everyone to participate. Encouraged by Lizzie's idea, they quickly set to work, creating flyers and posters to advertise the mentorship program. They planned a community connection day, where students could sign up to be mentors or mentees, with activities and games to foster relationships. As the day approached, Amara felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She wanted the event to be a success and for everyone to feel welcome and included. Miss Taylor and the other teachers were incredibly supportive, offering their time and resources to ensure everything went smoothly. On the day of the event, the school gymnasium was transformed into a vibrant hub of activity. Colorful decorations adorned the walls, and tables were set up for various activities. Amara and her friends wore bright T-shirts that read, "Together we rise," a mantra that had become central to their mission. Families began to trickle in, and Amara felt her heart race with anticipation. She watched as older students took the younger ones under their wings, guiding them through fun games and educational activities. Laughter echoed through the gym, a sweet melody of joy and connection. As she moved through the crowd, Amara caught sight of her mother, Sarah, standing at a table, talking to another parent. A wave of pride washed over her. "Mom," Amara called, rushing over to give her a hug. "I'm so glad you could make it." Sarah smiled warmly. "I wouldn't miss it for the world." "I'm so proud of you, Amara. You're doing such wonderful things for our community." "Thanks, Mom. It feels amazing to see everyone come together," Amara replied, glancing around the gym. "I just hope we can make a real difference." Just then, Miss Taylor approached, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Amara, I think we've reached a record number of sign-ups for the mentorship program. This is incredible." The news sent a thrill through Amara. "Really? That's amazing." She looked around, her heart swelling with joy. "We're really making an impact." As the event progressed, Amara noticed a boy standing off to the side, looking uncertain and a bit shy. He was new to the school and had yet to make friends. Her heart went out to him. "Hey there," she said, approaching him with a friendly smile. "I'm Amara. Are you here to join the mentorship program?" The boy nodded slowly. "I'm Jacob. I just moved here, and I don't really know anyone." "Well, you're in the right place," Amara reassured him. "We're all about making new friends and helping each other out. Would you like to join a group with me?" Jacob's face lit up, and he nodded eagerly. "Yeah, that would be great." Amara led Jacob over to her group, where they were playing educational games. She introduced him to her friends, and soon he was laughing and participating, his shyness melting away. As the day went on, Amara noticed how the mentorship program was creating genuine connections. Older students offered guidance, while younger ones felt seen and heard. The camaraderie blossomed, and Amara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They were doing something meaningful, bringing light to the lives of others. Towards the end of the day, Miss Taylor gathered everyone together for a closing ceremony. "I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible work Amara and the Friendship Squad have done in organizing this event," she said, her voice warm and proud. "You've created a space where our community can connect and thrive." The crowd erupted in applause, and Amara felt a rush of happiness. She was proud of her friends and the impact they were making. Later that evening, as Amara sat at her desk, reflecting on the day, she felt a sense of gratitude wash over her. The support of her community had been overwhelming, and she couldn't help but smile as she thought of Jacob and the new friendships forming all around her. However, amidst the joy, a thought nagged at her. They had accomplished so much, but what about those who still face challenges? What could they do next to continue making a difference? The following morning, as she entered school, she was greeted by Lizzie and Tommy, who were buzzing with excitement. "Amara, we have an idea for our next project," Lizzie exclaimed, her eyes wide. "Really? What is it?" Amara asked, her curiosity piqued. "We were thinking we could create care packages for families in need," Tommy explained. "We could fill them with essentials like food, hygiene products, and maybe even a little note of encouragement." Amara's heart swelled at the thought. "That's perfect. We can partner with local businesses to gather donations and put everything together." They wasted no time in spreading the word, involving their classmates and community members. Flyers were distributed and announcements were made, rallying support for their new initiative. As the days passed, the response was heartwarming. Local businesses donated supplies, parents contributed items, and the students worked tirelessly to assemble the care packages. Each package was thoughtfully created, with a handwritten note of encouragement included to remind recipients that they were not alone. On the day of distribution, Amara felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She understood that while they were making an effort to help, there were still many obstacles ahead. She gathered her friends and the volunteers in the school gym, which was now filled with boxes of care packages ready to be delivered. "Thank you all for being here," Amara began, her voice steady. "Today is about more than just handing out packages. It's about showing our community that we care and that we're in this together." With that, they divided into small groups, each assigned a neighborhood to cover. As they made their way through the town, Amara felt a sense of purpose. They visited families and individuals who had been identified as needing support, delivering the care packages with kindness and compassion. Each interaction was met with gratitude and warmth. Some families invited them in for a brief chat, sharing their stories and expressing appreciation for the help. Amara felt a deep connection with each person they met, recognizing the shared humanity that bound them together. At one home, they met an elderly woman named Mrs. Thompson, who lived alone and struggled to make ends meet. Her face lit up when Amara handed her a care package. "Thank you, dear," she said, her voice shaky but filled with gratitude. "You young people are such a blessing." As they spoke, Mrs. Thompson shared stories of her life and the challenges she faced. Amara listened intently, her heart aching for the woman's struggles. "You've shown such resilience, Mrs. Thompson," Amara said softly. "We're here to support you, and if you ever need anything, please let us know." Tears welled up in Mrs. Thompson's eyes as she nodded. "You're so kind. Thank you for reminding me that I'm not alone." As they continued their rounds, Amara felt a sense of fulfillment like never before. It was heartwarming to see the impact they were making in the community, but she also realized the depth of the struggles that many faced. Each encounter reinforced her resolve to do more, to keep pushing forward despite the obstacles. Finally, they returned to school, exhausted but filled with a sense of accomplishment. As they unloaded the remaining care packages, Miss Taylor approached them, her eyes glistening with pride. "I can't tell you how proud I am of each of you," she said, her voice full of warmth. "You've shown incredible strength and compassion in making a difference in our community." Amara looked around at her friends, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "We couldn't have done it without each other," she replied, her heart full. But even as they celebrated their success, Amara knew there was still much work to be done. The challenges her community faced were ongoing, and she felt a calling to continue their efforts. Later that night, as Amara lay in bed, her mind raced with possibilities. She envisioned a future where they could establish a community center, a safe space for families to gather, receive support, and connect with one another. A place where they could continue to build resilience together. As sleep overtook her, Amara dreamt of a brighter future, one where everyone in her community could thrive. She was determined to see that dream become a reality, and she knew that with her friends by her side, they could achieve anything. The following morning, Amara rushed into school with a new fire in her heart. The idea of a community center wouldn't leave her mind, and she was eager to share it with her friends. As she gathered them together, she spoke with passion. "What if we created a community center?" she proposed, her eyes shining. "A place where people can come together, share resources, and support each other." Tommy's eyes widened with excitement. "That's an amazing idea, Amara. We could host workshops, tutoring sessions, and even community meals." Lizzie Chim, building a legacy. Amara's idea of creating a community center sparked a flame of inspiration among her friends, igniting a collective energy that felt electric. They gathered around a table in Miss Taylor's classroom, their heads buzzing with possibilities and plans. "What if we host a fundraiser?" Lizzie suggested, her hands flying in the air as she spoke. "We could put on a talent show. Everyone has something to share. Music, art, comedy." "That's a fantastic idea," Tommy exclaimed. "We could charge a small fee for entry and sell snacks and drinks. The money we raise could go towards the community center." The excitement in the room was palpable as they brainstormed ideas for the talent show. Amara envisioned the gymnasium transformed into a vibrant showcase of talent, where everyone in the community could come together, celebrate their uniqueness, and support a common cause. As the weeks passed, the Friendship Squad rallied their classmates and teachers, spreading the word about the upcoming talent show. Posters adorned the school hallways, each one bursting with color and enthusiasm. The slogan, "Together We Shine," became their rallying cry, encapsulating the spirit of unity and resilience they wanted to foster. Miss Taylor was an unwavering source of support, offering her guidance and encouragement. "Let's utilize the skills we have in our class," she said during a meeting. "We can divide responsibilities. Some of us can work on logistics, others can help promote the event, and a few can focus on performing." Amara felt a surge of pride as she observed her friends stepping into their roles. They formed committees, with each student embracing their strengths. Lizzie took charge of promotions, designing eye-catching flyers and organizing social media outreach. Tommy coordinated the performances, reaching out to students willing to showcase their talents, while Amara focused on logistics, securing equipment and supplies. As the day of the talent show approached, the buzz in the school intensified. Students practiced their acts tirelessly, from singing to dancing, poetry readings to magic tricks. Each rehearsal filled the air with excitement and anticipation. Amara often found herself lost in thought as she watched her friends grow more confident with each passing day. The night of the talent show arrived, and the gymnasium was filled with colorful decorations, fairy lights twinkling overhead like stars. The energy was electric, and Amara could feel her heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement. She donned her "Together We Shine" t-shirt and took a deep breath, ready to embrace the night. Families began to filter into the gym, filling the seats with laughter and chatter. The stage was set, adorned with a vibrant banner that proclaimed, "Together We Shine, a night of talent for our community." Amara stood backstage with her friends, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the stage lights. As the show kicked off, Amara felt a wave of joy wash over her. The performances were incredible. Students showcased their talents with passion and enthusiasm. There were heartwarming renditions of popular songs, breathtaking dance routines, and even a few skits that had the audience roaring with laughter. Amara's heart swelled with pride for her classmates, knowing that this was more than just a performance. It was a celebration of their community. As the night progressed, Amara felt a sense of connection blossoming around her. She watched as families interacted, shared laughter, and cheered for one another, the walls of the gym echoing with positivity and unity. It was a stark contrast to the struggles many had faced, and it reminded her why they were all gathered there. Finally, it was Amara's turn to take the stage. With her heart racing, she stepped into the spotlight, a microphone in hand. "Hi everyone, my name is Amara, and I'm so grateful to see all of you here tonight," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. This talent show is not just about showcasing our talents. It's about coming together as a community and lifting each other up. The audience listened intently as Amara continued. "We've all faced challenges, but together we can overcome them. The money we raise tonight will go toward creating the community center where we can support one another, learn from each other, and grow together." The audience erupted in applause, and Amara felt a rush of energy surge through her. "Thank you for being here, for believing in us, and for believing in each other," she said, her heart full. "Let's keep shining together." As she stepped off the stage, she was met with enthusiastic cheers and hugs from her friends. "You were amazing," Lizzie exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. "You really captured the spirit of tonight." After the final performance, the audience applauded thunderously, and the atmosphere was filled with joy and excitement. The night culminated in the announcement of how much money they had raised. Miss Taylor took the stage, her face glowing with pride. "Thanks to each and every one of you, we've raised an incredible amount for the community center," she announced, holding up a large check. "Together, we've raised over $2,000. The crowd erupted into cheers, and Amara felt tears of joy prick at the corners of her eyes. She looked around at her friends, their faces beaming with pride and excitement. It was a moment they would never forget, a testament to their hard work, determination, and the unwavering support of their community. As the crowd began to disperse, Amara felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. They had accomplished something remarkable, and this was just the beginning. With the funds raised, they would work towards making the community center a reality. In the weeks that followed, Amara and her friends met with local leaders and community members, discussing their vision for the center. They shared ideas for programs that could be offered, from tutoring sessions for students to workshops for adults looking to improve their skills. They envisioned a place where everyone felt welcome, a safe haven filled with resources, support, and connection. The response from the community was overwhelmingly positive. Local businesses offered to sponsor programs, and parents volunteered their time and skills to help build and manage the center. Amara felt a surge of hope as she saw how people came together, driven by a shared vision of lifting one another up. As they began to organize their first community event at the newly established center, Amara took a moment to reflect on how far they had come. She thought about her journey from being a quiet girl in class, feeling invisible, to becoming a leader in her community. The struggles she had faced, both personally and as part of her community, had only strengthened her resolve. On the day of the grand opening, the community center buzzed with excitement. Families gathered outside, chatting and laughing, eager to see what the center had to offer. Amara stood by the entrance, her heart racing with anticipation as she welcomed everyone with open arms. "Thank you all for being here today," she exclaimed as the crowd gathered. "This center is a place for all of us, where we can learn, grow, and support each other. Together, we can create a brighter future." As she looked out at the smiling faces of her community, Amara felt a sense of pride swell within her. She had witnessed firsthand the power of resilience, compassion, and community spirit. It was a reminder that they could overcome any challenge when they came together. Inside, the center was filled with vibrant decorations and displays showcasing upcoming programs. Workshops were set up in various rooms, while a small stage in the corner featured local artists performing throughout the day. The energy in the air was electric, a celebration of connection and hope. Throughout the day, families explored the center, signing up for programs and activities. Amara felt a warmth in her heart as she watched children playing, parents chatting, and the community coming together in ways she had only dreamed of. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the center, Amara stood with her friends outside, taking in the scene. They had built something beautiful together, a legacy of kindness, resilience, and connection. "Look at how far we've come," Tommy said, a hint of disbelief in his voice. "I can't believe we actually did it." Lizzie nodded, her eyes sparkling. "We've shown that when we work together, we can create real change." Amara felt tears of joy welling up again. "I'm so grateful for each of you. This wouldn't have happened without our friendship and the support of our community." As they stood together, gazing at the thriving center that had become a reality, Amara knew they had just begun. There would always be challenges ahead, but with the strength of their friendship and the support of their community, they could face anything that came their way. In the months and years to come, the community center would thrive, offering programs, support, and connection to families in need. Amara's journey had transformed her, shaping her into a compassionate leader who would continue to advocate for her community. The bonds she had formed and the lives she had touched would be a testament to the power of resilience, kindness, and unwavering determination. As she reflected on her journey, Amara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had turned her struggles into strength, becoming a beacon of hope for others. The lessons she had learned about empathy, kindness, and the importance of community would guide her as she continued to strive for a better future for herself and those around her. In the end, Amara understood that it was not just about building a community center. It was about building a legacy of love, compassion, and hope that would endure for generations to come. She was proud to be a part of something so meaningful, a testament to the power of resilience and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. And so, as the stars twinkled above and the community center buzzed with life,